All right, welcome to the 12th and final video of the Made in Mexico Fender P-Bass project. Here it is. It is complete, and I'm going to tell you all about what was done. Let's give you my battery is low on my video light, so hopefully it doesn't die on me. So this is all, should look familiar. Starting with the cigarette burn down the headstock, coming down, new nut, reconditioned fretboard and polished frets, all the way down to shimmed neck, which you can see right in there if you look real hard. Pearloid green fretboard, Seymour Duncan pickups installed with the Fender high mast bridge, and I have completed my sanding at the top. I actually got some help with a palm sander, a power sander, because it was getting hot rubbing it, and I was able to be more accurate. And so over time, like a patina, this area here will get better. Right now it looks kind of raw, but you can see I got down through the damage in the wood. There's some character marks there, and then you can see where you've gotten into the raw wood. This is alder here, and it's really smooth. I mean, there's no way I'm gonna get a splinter here. But I'm going to just let this, with sweat and skin oil, just let this wear naturally. And there you have it. As you can see, we are plugged in. Now what I've done for the sound test this time is I've taken out my effects. I'm just running this straight into an amplifier. And I'm gonna have, first of all, this is the way the bass sounds with the tone all the way up. So this is full tone. Okay, here's what it sounds like with the tone all the way down. And then I'll ride the tone here. So a little tone, not what you would expect from like a jazz bass, but these pickups are way better. Huge improvement, huge. Okay, so that's how the bass sounds. It plays great. I did fix my buzz up here high on the fretboard. That half turn on the bridge, on the bridge saddles did the trick. So it's all. So that's all fixed. So pots work great. Here are my final conclusions as I wrap up the project. Let me set the bass on its stand. Conclusion number one, and this is something that I figured out today, I stink at soldering. I am the worst soldering technician or whatever, a solderer is. I'm terrible at it. I see people solder these, these fine solders on circuit boards. I'm just awful at it. I was really concerned when I wired back up and I had to replace some of the wires were roasted, so I had some spare wire and I replaced them. Some of my solders inside this guitar are beyond ugly. I would say if there's a word, they're ugly, but they work. I was really worried about shorts and stuff when I put it back together. There's not a lot of room inside the bass, and so you have to really kind of line everything up. But as it turned out, everything is great. I can't make it short. It's playing fine. So I guess if neatness doesn't count, then I'm in good shape. But I'm a terrible solderer. So if you're gonna do this, practice your soldering skills. I am going to get some old scrap wire and actually practice. Solder is cheap. I should be better at soldering. I'm a better welder than I am soldering, and that says something about how bad, because I'm not a good welder. I'm a farm level welder. I'm not an artisan. Anyway, all that to say, it works. Thank heavens. So what did this cost? Good question. Here's a quick rundown of what I spent. For the new pick guard, I spent $22. The pots were $12 for both of them. The knobs were $12 for both of them. The bridge was the most expensive thing. Well, not anymore. The pickups were. We'll get to that. The bridge was $55, and that was actually a pretty good deal. Fender sells those for $70. So I got a pretty good deal on the bridge. The input jack, $6. The shims were $20 for the set of 3. I said they're cheap. That's actually not quite cheap, but they are precision engineered to very fine tolerances. And so I think that's pretty fair for the set of 3, 20 bucks for those. And then the new nut was $10. I'm not going to count the strings because I had them, but the strings I play are about $24 for a set. And then the pickups. The pickups were the last thing I purchased. The pickups I got for $70. So if you add all of that up, that's $207 for all of the parts that I used for the bass. Like I said early on, I don't remember what I paid for the bass. I think it was probably, I'm almost would bet lunch that it was not more than 40 bucks. I wouldn't have bought it if it was more than 40 bucks. It was probably less than that. And I'm pretty sure it was probably an eBay. I went through a period 20 something years ago where I was scouring eBay for unloved instruments. And, you know, frankly, that was a time when I couldn't afford, you know, some of the nicer instruments that I'm blessed to have now. So, that was probably an eBay purchase. But anyway, I'm not going to count that because, like I say, this asset has been sitting in that closet for decades. And now it has been added to my collection. I am delighted with it. I'm really, really happy. My next question is, am I going to do another one? I think I will. And I think next time I might do like a Strat. I might find an old unloved Squier Strat or maybe a Mexican Fender Strat, or maybe even a knockoff of some kind that, you know, if I look at it and think it's got good bones, as they say, I may try to do that. But, you know, I'm a bassist at heart, and so I'm tempted to maybe find another type of bass, maybe a Gibson bass or an Epiphone or a Rick or something like that, although those are typically not cheap. But anyway, I'm going to be looking, and if a guitar talks to me and says, pick me, then I'll probably pick that guitar. But I hope you've enjoyed these videos. I've had a hoot doing this, and like I say, my conclusions are it's fun. None of it is terribly difficult except the soldering, and I'm just so bad at it. I'm just a terrible, did I mention I'm terrible at soldering? If you are good at soldering, you will have far less difficulty than I had. The parts are easy to find. Amazon has almost everything, cheaper than Fender, but you can buy all the parts from Fender if you want to pay retail. And then there are also aftermarket parts. You can even buy the wiring harnesses pre-wired. So like on Amazon, I found where everything is pre-wired, professionally soldered with the correct wired lengths. It's neat and clean. This is not. This is a bird nest. But it's really neat, but they want like 75 bucks for those. But that was on my mind. I thought, you know, especially today when I was doing this soldering as bad as it was going, I thought, if this doesn't work, or I'm loaded with shorts, or I just lose my patience with it, I may spend the extra money and get one of those harnesses. But they are out there and available, which is nice to know. It's kind of a nice fallback if it all goes bad. But it didn't. It plays great. The pots sound good. Everything works. I am totally stoked. Now I'm going to start playing with different P-Bass effects and stuff, because I have my effects set for my jazz bass, but they don't sound right for the P-Bass. So I may have to play around and come up with a P-Bass sound that I like to have. And definitely will add this bass to my rotation. Might do some writing with it or something. It's a really cool guitar now, and I'm proud to own it. So anyway, if I decide to do another guitar, I'll do more videos, but this concludes the project. 12 videos of me toiling away and giving a instrument new life. And here it is, still plugged in with my 4-point jack. One more look at her, and I'll probably bring it up to town so we can play it and maybe record with it. There it is. Oh, and you see the back. There's the little heart. You can still see the heart there. It's right there. Look at the back of it. I didn't sand the neck, by the way. I decided not to do that. But there it is. A Mexican-built P-Bass that has been outfitted just for me. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.